More often than not, when you confront a narcissist about something they've said or something they've done, they manage to get their way out of it and get you doubting who you are as a person, doubting what happened, doubting their intentions, doubting your judgment. And narcissistic individuals are very good at setting up situations whereby if they were to be called out, they can use plausible deniability in order to avoid taking responsibility for their actions, for their wrongdoings, to avoid that accountability so that there's no consequences for their actions. And there's lots of ways that narcissistic individuals set this up. So they can use that vague language. They can make statements that can be potentially interpreted in many different ways. And if you ask them to clarify something, they'll not do it. They'll skirt around the issue. So your child can have some sort of event on and you can suggest it to the child's other parent. Hey, they've got this on. It's in 3 weeks' time. Are you free? Can you make it? We've just found out about it. And the narcissist can just say something like, that seems fun. They don't say yes. They don't say no. They don't agree to it. And you can remind them on the lead and they can just say, sounds interesting. I'll see nearer the time what I'm doing. So you never get that direct answer. And then when they fail to show up and they're not doing anything else, they're not working, they're not doing anything important, they fail to show up, and you dare to ask them as to why, just out of curiosity, how come you didn't come? They can just turn around and say, I never said I would go. Which they actually never said they would go. It's in these sorts of situations where we have to lower our expectations and begin to recognise who they are as a person and do our best to be who we want to be as a person and leave them to it. Narcissistic individuals will also use a lot of half-truths mixed with those lies, the misleading narrative that usually seems quite credible when they're saying it to you. So we can all get held up for various reasons. We can all have made arrangements and then someone says, hey, I've got this on at such and such a time, can you make it? And you can say, actually, I've already agreed to this, which doesn't finish till then. So if I do come, I'm possibly going to be late. So I don't mind, it's up to you. Yeah, come along, even if you're going to be late. You've informed them. It happens. They have the knowledge prior to the event. Now, with a narcissistic individual, they can also just sort of say, I might be late, but there's no justification or reason as to why they might be late. And with a narcissist, they say this because they have no intention on showing up on time, because it's nothing to do with them, because they're not getting the attention from whatever it is, because they want to arrive late and gain the admiration. But by informing you prior to the event that they might be, means it's challenging to call them out every time they are late. Now, they can come up with justifications and excuses, but with a narcissist, it's simply because whatever it is that you have on is not important to them. Narcissists can also use that feigned ignorance. So they can pretend to misremember something, they can pretend to not understand something, they can pretend to not understand the details so that they can avoid any form of responsibility. So if you ask them if they could potentially do something for you, they can just turn around later down the line and say, I don't remember you ever telling me that. I don't remember you ever asking me that. Or if you ask them to do something, they will also use a thing such as weaponized incompetence. So you ask them to do something And they will do it badly on purpose. And as we all know, when we first have a try at something, it can look messy. We can do a bad job. We're learning as we go. We improve the more we pick up any form of skill. Some people can have a natural talent. However, we only tend to have a natural talent in a couple of things. Most things when we try, we really are going to suck when we first try. And that's when you sort of take on that constructive feedback from somebody who's been there and done it before and can explain things to you so you don't have to learn the hard way. With a narcissist, because this can be done when you're first trying something, it can be done badly. They're going to purposefully do something badly. And then when you try to offer that constructive feedback, they take it as criticism, they take offense, and then they turn around and say, see, nothing's ever good enough for you, is it? See, this is why I don't bother doing anything for you. And they play the victim, and you're the one that feels guilty for their inability to take on any sort of constructive feedback. It's not even criticism, it's feedback to help them improve. Narcissists will use that indirect communication. So they will use third parties, and they will go to those who gossip first to spread the rumours for them. They use those indirect means to spread the messages. By spreading rumours through mutual friends and mutual family, they can deny any involvement if they're confronted. They also use that forgetfulness. So you ask them to pick them something up, they arrive. You ask them to pick you something up, they arrive home, you ask them where it is, and then they just turn around and say, you forgot to remind me. Because they don't take responsibility, it's your fault. Yet if you do remind them in the future because of what happened in the past, they tell you to stop treating them like a child, so you can't win with them. They will rephrase things, and as we can all say something that can potentially be taken out of context, and then we have to explain our intentions, this can happen now and again. With a narcissist, it's usually that pervasive pattern of behaviour. So they will rephrase a previous statement to make it look like what they said wasn't problematic. They'll just turn around and claim that you misunderstood them or what they meant, and then change the original meaning, yet your instincts know what they're saying second isn't what they meant. They use deflection. A narcissist will shift the focus away from themselves and bring up a completely irrelevant topic of conversation, or bring up something that you did or that somebody else did, or that their ex didn't mind, your sibling wouldn't mind doing it for them. They're looking to shift the focus onto anything and anyone other than themselves. Or they can turn around and say, why are you focused on me? Why are you so bothered about me? Why are you so bothered about what I'm doing? To make themselves feel superior. They also use a lot of gaslighting in order to distort your reality so that they can get away with their behaviour and leave you in self-doubt and feeling like you're going crazy. So you call them out on something they said or that they did, and then they'll just accuse you of remembering things wrong or imagining things. And one of the worst things about a narcissist gaslighting is they will provoke a feeling within you and then use the plausible deniability to get away with their behaviour by getting you to question your feelings that they've provoked. So they will go all out to make you feel jealous, and then when you go just to have that conversation with them, they just accuse you of being jealous, and as you feel jealous, you feel like you're the issue. They will go all out to be some of the most insensitive people you could ever meet, and then as soon as you try to speak to them, they just accuse you of being way too sensitive. They provoke those trust issues and then accuse you of having those trust issues. They have that sarcasm and they chip away at you and provoke you and then accuse you of overreacting or going crazy. And as you feel that way, you question yourself and not them. With a narcissist, their plausible deniability and the tactics they use, it's very challenging to confront a narcissist, and it's even more challenging to hold them accountable because they create that plausible deniability, those plausible explanations that allow them to justify or deny any wrongdoing so convincingly well. Any tactics you notice them use, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon. How to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. A Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people if you cannot go no contact with them. The new book, which is the hilarious and horrifying narcissistic memes and their meanings. And this one strays away from actually learning about the disorder and is more focused on recovery, which is healing from narcissistic abuse, a guided journal for recovery and empowerment. And these are all available on Amazon if you'd like to go and take a look at those. The links will be in the video description. Thank you very much for watching. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.